All right, welcome back, campers. Today we are going to review what we've learned this week, and hopefully by now you've been able to log on to our Kahoot and practice it on our Kahoot game. So let's get started with our review for understanding place value. So first, let's review the wrap, because the wrap tells you the steps. Find the place value, circle that digit, move to the right, underline, get it? The key words in this wrap, I'm going to underline them. Place value, that's step 1. Circle, that's step 2. Move to the right, and then underline, that's step 3. Those are the key words in our wrap to help us understand place values. Then we also use our rounding triangle. Okay, that's what this was called, our rounding triangle. And the rounding triangle helps us know what to do to our circled digit. Whatever we underline, we're going to get that information from our rounding triangle. 0 through 4, we stay the same. 5 through 9, we add 1 to that circle digit. So I'm going to go over an example in tens, hundreds, thousands, and then decimal as well for our 5th graders, or those of you who want to get a head start. So let's start with our 2-digit numbers. If we had the number 27 and the directions told us to round to the nearest tens place. Okay, remember, you need to know your place value. This is tens, this is ones. So the tens place, the digit in the tens place is 2. I'm going to find the place value, tens, circle that digit, 2, move to the right, and the 7 is going to tell me what to do to the 2. The 7 tells me to, according to our rounding triangle, it's on our +1 side. I'm going to add 1. So now 27 rounded to the nearest tens place equals 30. Remember, any digits after the circle digit become a 0. Now let's look at 3-digit number. Okay, let's say we have the number 342. And the direction said round to the nearest hundredths. Know your place value first. Let's label them. We have hundreds, tens, ones. If I'm rounding to the nearest hundredths, that's the place value that I want to circle. And the digit that's in the hundredths place is a 3. I'm going to move to the right. And the 4 is my underlined digit. The 4, according to my rounding triangle, tells us to stay the same. So we're not going to do anything to that 3. That 3 is going to remain the same. Bring it down. Anything after the 3 turns into a 0. Okay, now let's move to a 4-digit number with the thousands. 1,702. Okay, let's first understand our place values. I'm going to use TH for thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Know your place value, okay? Now say the question said to round to the nearest tens place. Let's round to the nearest tens place. So the digit that's in the tens place is 0. That's the digit I'm going to circle. I'm going to move to the right and underline the digit on the right, which is a 2. The 2, according to our rounding triangle, tells us to stay the same. So this is where I want you to pay close attention. Anything in front of your circle digit, just get brought down. That's it. We just bring it straight down. Okay, now what did the 2 tell us to do to our circle digit? It told us to keep it the same. Anything after the circle digit turns into a 0. So 1,702 rounded to the nearest tenths equals 1,700. Okay, and I'm going to do one more example, and then I am going to review our decimals. So let's say we have the number 2,473. 2,473, and the direction said round to the nearest hundredths place. Okay, if it said thousands, we would know. Remember, we would circle the thousands, but it doesn't. Let's round to the nearest hundreds. I suggest you label your place values first. We have thousands, TH, hundreds, H, tens, T, and ones, I put an O. So if I'm rounding to the nearest hundreds, that means I want to circle that place value. Circle the digit in the hundredths place value. Move to the right. Underline. What does the 7 tell you to do to the 4? It tells us to add 1. Okay, remember, anything in front of my circle digit just get brought down. It stays the same. 4 plus 1 is 5. Everything after my circle digit turns into a 0. 2,473 rounded to the nearest hundredths is 2,500. Okay, so hopefully this review helps you to answer your Kahoot questions. Now we want to shift to decimals. Okay, remember, 5th graders, our decimals look a little bit different. Okay, so say for example, we have 1 74/100ths. Remember, we practice 2 things: how to read decimals, how to write them, and we practice, how to read and write them, and how to understand what the place value is. So we have our whole number. I'm going to put a number sign for number. We have our tenths with a THS, hundredths place. And if I had a number there, that would be our thousandths place. Okay, so 1 74/100ths. And the reason we pronounce hundreds at the end is because that's the last place value this number ends in. So let's say it asks us to round to the nearest whole number. Your whole number, find that place value, circle that digit, move to the right, underline. What does 7 tell you to do to the 1? According to our rounding triangle, it tells us to add 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And bring down your decimal. Anything after your decimal turns into a 0. Even if you just wrote 2 here, that would still be correct. It's the same thing, with or without the zeros. So 1 74/100ths rounded to the nearest whole number equals 2. And one more decimal review. Say we have the number 3 64 thousandths. 3 64 thousandths. Label your place value. We have our whole number, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. And let's say the directions ask us to round to the nearest tenths place. Okay, the nearest tenths. Find the place value, circle that digit, move to the right, underline, get it from our rounding triangle. The 6 is on our +1 side, so we are going to add 1 to this 0. So this becomes 3 1/10. Remember, if you wanted to put these zeros, it still would not be incorrect. This is still 3 1/10, 3 100 thousandths. Either way, it would be correct. So hopefully this review helped you, and hopefully you all had a good time practicing this on Kahoot, and I will see you on Monday. Believe in yourself.